Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. You know the fucking drill by now. God. I had no idea what I was going to talk about, and I was brainstorming, and I was like, oh, the moon. I'm really passionate about astrology, and I love the moon. Yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. I'm going to talk about astrology, okay? I don't give a fuck. I'm never beating the mentally ill, crystal, fucking mushroom, astrology girl, loving allegations. I'm never beating them, and I'm okay with that. And guess what? Not only do I not give a fuck, I invented it. When I was in eighth grade, I made like a very in-depth project on how to be a witch, and I touched on a lot of subjects like the correct crystals to buy, candles and stuff, and herbs and shit to grow. I only did it because I was obsessed with American Horror Story, Coven, but even before that, I've always had this magical, deep set need inside of me, and I'm not gonna let you fucking chronically online bitches, fucking the online warriors accuse me of being basic or accuse me of only following trends. I'm not gonna let them strip this a fucking way from me, okay? Because when this shit dies, guess who's gonna be here at the end of the day? Me. When everyone on TikTok is done talking about whatever the fuck Mercury is in Gatorade doing, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here still. But before we get into the rest of the video, I do want to get this out of the way, okay? I don't give a singular, not one, fuck. I do not give a single fuck if you believe in astrology or not, okay? I don't. Because, yes, technically astrology is a pseudoscience. So while it can't necessarily be 100% scientifically proven, that should not take away from the thousands of years of research and studying that has gone into the art of astrology and thousands of cultures that practice and use it. It's a study of research, but it's technically more of a divination practice. And again, it doesn't take away from the millions upon millions of predictions that were accurately made based off of using astrology, okay? And one more thing, you still have free will. I want you guys to understand that. You have free will, and as a human, you can do or act in any sort of fucking way that you want to. I'm serious. Like, just because I describe a specific, like, planet or placement in a certain type of way does not mean shit, okay? That doesn't mean that that is how it will manifest for you. And on the contrary of that, your planetary placements are not an excuse for yours or someone else's shitty fucking behavior. Everyone can be a narcissist, everyone can be a manipulator, everyone can be a lover, everyone can be a fighter, everyone can be this, that, and the fucking third. It just depends on the sign, the house, the placement, the aspects, everything else. That will tell you how that energy might be coming through, okay? So, anyways, the moon, right? The moon, scientifically, is a large celestial object that was formed by a Mars sized object that hit Earth around like 4.5 billion years ago. And the debris from that collision kind of clumped and clustered and formed together due to Earth's gravitational pull, thus forming the moon. So, what is the purpose of the moon, right? What is the moon doing, like, other than just like being up there sitting pretty? Like, what's the moon like doing, love? Like, what's it doing? Just like sitting there and then like just like doing nothing. Like, what's the moon like doing? Like, the moon essentially stabilizes and balances out the Earth's wobble that it has on its axis. Okay. So, science.nasa.gov says the brightest and largest object in our sky, the moon, makes Earth a more livable planet by moderating our home planet's wobble on its axis, leading to a relatively stable climate. It also causes tides, creating a rhythm that has guided humans for thousands of years. Slay Mother Moon, slay house down boots Mother Moon, love her. For centuries, many different cultures have honored and looked up to the moon, like physically and like metaphorically and spiritually. Studying the moon's phases and its influences on water and menstruation cycles. It is because of this that the moon is tied to the more feminine side of the spectrum. So, in astrology, this is no exception, okay? In your birth chart, the moon represents all things emotional and instinct based. So before society gave us these lovely socially formed masks, the moon was very prominent in our early childhoods. And now, post social masks, the moon makes herself known when we are stressed or in crisis. So, any sort of like emotional turmoil that might seep through the mask is when the moon now will make herself known. Since the moon watches over the night sky and comes out at night, obviously, it's associated with all things hidden, unknown, and personally mysterious, like our secrets, our subconscious, or even like dreams and shit like that. And because of this, the traits of our moon placements are really only revealed with our most intimate connections. The people that you're around every day are gonna see your instinctive, like, emotional responses. So, since the beginning of like literally time, the moon has had many correlations to motherhood, representing the emotional and nurturing care that goes into creating and bringing life to Earth, onto Earth. That tender, sensitive bond that a mother has with her child. So many astrologers and cultures believe that your moon placement can give a little insight onto what your relationship with your mom could look like. The moon is ruled by Cancer, the astrological sign Cancer, giving Cancer that mommy, mommy, mommy energy that we all know and love. That also means that the moon likes being here a lot. She's basically at home here in Cancer. She feels very comfortable. The moon is exalted in Taurus, which means she loves being here, arguably more. Okay, so for context, pretty much every planet from the sun all the way to Saturn has domicile signs and exalted signs. A planet in domicile is a planet that is in a sign that it rules over. So in this example, it's Cancer with the moon. The moon rules over Cancer, so she's at home there. A planet in exaltation is a planet that is in a sign that it doesn't rule over, but it like kind of co-rules because it's very, 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 very comfortable in that sign. So in this example, the moon is exalted in, sorry, I'm just fucking throwing my iPad around. The moon is exalted in Taurus, which means she loves being here. Like I said, maybe a little bit more. If a planet being in domicile is like staying with your parents and being comfortable in your childhood home, a planet being in an exalted sign or a planet being exalted in a sign is like going over to your bestie's house that you are just so excited to be in. You know where the silverware is at. You know where they keep their extra toilet paper, bitch. You know the address by heart. You might even hang out at their home without them. You don't have to ask to get food or a snack, bitch. And you might even have a key. So that's what the moon is like, being in the sensual, self-indulgent side of Taurus, okay? It makes sense why the moon loves being here in Taurus, because Taurus is ruled by Venus, and I'll do a whole another video on Venus one day. But Venus is kind of very similar to the moon. They're both feminine and they both have a lot to do with comfort. One is more just like emotional comfort and the other is like relational, like pleasurable comfort. But they definitely bleed into each other, okay? Oops, sorry, I'm hitting my microphone. Tauruses take things slow and they work smarter, not harder. Tauruses, they're far from fucking lazy, and I'm so tired of that narrative that they are. Because Tauruses, every Taurus I know or every Taurus placement I know works their ass off. There's a ladybug on my desk and I'm not sure why, because it's 1 a.m. They should be asleep. They just really enjoy their time off, as they should, because I am guaranteed that they earned it. 100%, I'm guaranteed that that Taurus placement has earned that time off. They're like, why the fuck would I spend my day off doing some sort of chore or running some sort of fucking errand when I could be a sleepy little girl in my room enjoying my fucking time off? Because why would I do that after I just got off a 12-hour shift? An 8-hour shift. Why would I do that? I'm going home, I'm getting in bed with my comfortable fucking jammies on, and I'm going nights. Bitch, I earned it. I have my snack to my left, I have my water to my right, bitch. I'm done. I'm clocked out for the night. Pisces are the lazy bitches that you should be you gotta watch out for. They won't have a job and they won't go to school and they'll still be the most exhausted bitches at the end of the day. You know why? It's because rotting in bed all day is really hard, girl. It is. And you deserve that 13-hour night sleep, not including the 3-hour nap that you had during the day. Okay, so shifting gears. Time for what I'm sure you only clicked on for. I'm sure this is all you're here for. Rapid fire placement observation. Yeah, all signs included. So Aries moons, they are the type to actually know a couple of people with Aries moons. They are the type to make fun of you flat out because they think it's funny. They will 100% get heated and passionate about something, calm down within 3 seconds, and then look at you sideways and be confused as to why you are still hung up on the issue. Sorry, my Viking wants to sleep. I feel like the relationship that Aries moons tend to have with their mothers is like, I feel like how they feel towards their mom is really hot and cold. The relationship with each other is usually hot and cold. Very intense usually, whether that's good or bad, very intense. And it's giving like frenemy vibes. Oh God. Oh, my foot's so asleep. While I work through this, let's go on to Taurus. So we just talked about how Taurus loves being here, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I feel like Taurus moons are really well-rounded individuals, especially emotionally. They're most likely to gentle parent themselves out of a mental breakdown, I find. And they're really in touch with what comforts them, what soothes them, hence why they have the lazy, they love to eat snacks, they love to do this stereotype. They just enjoy pleasure, okay? They're self-indulgent, they're hedonistic. That's all. I feel like the relationship that Taurus moons have with their moms are usually, I feel like they grew up with a mom that probably kept them in check, raised them to be humble, and at the very, very least, tried her hardest to emotionally nurture you, regardless if it helped or not. I feel like she at least tried. Gemini moons. I feel like Gemini moons have already thought about anything and everything around 3 times already today alone. And I feel like a Gemini moon will dissect their emotions like a middle schooler dissecting a frog in science class, but they won't feel their emotions because that's scary. Relationship with mother. I feel like Gemini Moon's mother is probably, I feel like she probably instilled the idea of anxiety into you like pretty early on. But I feel like she's really easy to talk to on a surface level. And I feel like she has a lot of life experience. Your mom. Your mom. Cancer moons. Cancer moons. They're literally the mom friend of the group. I don't give a fuck how worn out that stereotype is. It's true. They're the ones getting you water and holding your hair back while you puke in the club. They're the ones that'll speak to the waitress for you when your order is wrong. They are the ones that will ask if you've eaten today and then will proceed to demand that you put your card away when it's time to get some food. Okay? They're taking care of you. Again, with the mom, I just feel like she might be hot or cold emotionally. I feel like a Cancer Moon's mom might be a little victim-y, just a little bit. Kind of like, I've sacrificed a lot for you. What do you mean that you're not happy with what I made for dinner? But also, I feel like a Cancer Moon's mom, whether or not you have a good or bad relationship with your mom, she was the type to at least, hello? All my lighting's going out. She was the type to, at the very least, cook you some soup when you was sick. Now is when it gets scary because I'm done with my notes. That's all I had because I didn't think that I would even get this far. So right off the noggin, Leo moons. I feel like Leo moons are, they're gonna put on a show with their emotions. They're gonna be like, I also find that Leo moons tend to play with their hair when they're anxious because Leo rules over, I don't think it technically rules over the hair, but people really associate Leo with hair because lion's mane. But also, Leo moons, they want to shine their light on you. I don't like how people put Leo in this box of like, they're, like self centered. They're not. They will give you so much light, so much love, so much attention. The thing is that catches people off guard, they fully expect it in return. That's all you need to do, bitch. That's all you need to do, and your Leo bestie won't be so narcissistic like you claim. I feel like relationships that Leo moon people have with their moms are usually ones that are flashy. Their moms, I find, are usually concerned about how, the family looks, how you look. They're not going to let you go outside with you busted hair. They're not gonna let someone in the house if the house is like a mess. They care about the performance of it all, and unfortunately that can kind of turn toxic very quickly. I've seen a lot of different Leo moons. But, you know, none of my business. So next is Virgo moons. I find that Virgo moons tend to... Oh, Virgo moons are the Virgo placements with tummy issues for fucking sure, because Virgo rules over the stomach and the gut health, and Virgo moons are up there with the other mercurial sister, Gemini, although Gemini is masculine because it's an air sign. You get it. I don't know why I'm... Virgo moons are the ones with tummy issues because they're not going to feel their emotions. They're just going to have a really bad stomach ache, really bad acid reflux because they're so anxious, but they're not going to let themselves feel that because they have work to do. That's also very Capricorn moon of them, but specifically for Virgo moons, I find that they just are anxious and they don't handle their emotions very well. And if they do, it's in a way that is probably on the toilet. Relationships to their mom. I find that Virgo moons were usually raised right. Virgo moon mom is going to teach you how to do your taxes at a young age, but they're maybe not going to necessarily tell you how to process your emotions. They actually might say, hey, you have to worry about doing the dishes. There's no time to cry. Sorry if that triggered anyone. Sorry if any of this triggers anybody. I feel like I'm getting really deep for no reason. So moving on. What goes after Virgo? Libra moon. My sister's a Libra moon. Libra moons they're kind of right alongside a Virgo moon where it's like they were raised to be pretty balanced. They were raised to kind of maybe even push their own needs aside for the sake of harmony. Libra moons are the type to, I'm gonna say it, guys, and I'm sorry if the stereotype is hurtful, but I've just seen it time and time again. Libra moons are the type to not want to be alone. They love, love, love surrounding themselves with people, usually romantic, but they really cherish that sort of romantic intimacy that is so special. And I've never seen a Libra moon that had bad style. Hey, relationship to their mother. I feel like Libra moons I find to be very grateful of their mothers. I've never met a Libra moon that didn't really, not to say that that doesn't happen. I just haven't come across one. Or maybe I have and I don't know it yet. But Libra moons are very sacrificial for their moms. They love their moms down. They're pretty neutral about their moms. They're like, yeah, love her. She raised me. She might have fucked up, but that's okay. She's only human. Scorpio moons. Okay, so here's where we get into scary territory. Getting into weird territory here because alongside of good, quote unquote, good, like astrology placements where a planet is in a good position in domicile or exaltation, there is also the opposite of that, which is detriment and fall. When a planet is in detriment, it is the opposite of the planet that is in domicile. Hold on, I'm getting there. I'm sorry if I just threw a bunch of words at you. Hang on, I'm getting there. When a planet is in detriment, so let's take the moon, because that's what we're talking about. If the moon is at home in domicile in Cancer, the opposite of Cancer is in Capricorn. So the moon is going to be in detriment in Capricorn, which means we'll get to what that means later. But if the moon is in exaltation, or if the moon is exalted in Taurus, it's going to fall in Scorpio. And so modern astrologers are going to tell you that, oh, there's no such thing as a bad placement. There is. I don't want to fearmonger, but the reality is placements and astrology are reflections of your life experience and what you might go through, what you have gone through already, and what you even might, sometimes what you went through in a past life. So it's like to say that there's no such thing as a bad placement is to say that there's no such thing as bad experiences in life. And unfortunately, the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, some planets are not going to perform well in some signs, and that is okay, and we need to fucking normalize that instead of trying to fucking include everybody. Sorry, I'm all for inclusivity, and I really enjoy inclusivity, and it's all about embracing your flaws or your bad placements. It 100% is about embracing it, but you have to understand that sometimes the fucking moon just doesn't like being there, okay? The moon doesn't like being in Scorpio because the moon has to do with vulnerability and nurturing and receiving and intuition and all things soft and sensitive and supple. And Scorpio just isn't that. Scorpio is naturally ruled by Mars. It is a scorpion. Scorpios have an exoskeleton. Scorpios are naturally paranoid people. They are going to look at you sideways. They're natural detectives. They're going to read deep into things. They're going to read deep into lines that aren't there. The moon doesn't like being in Scorpio, point blank. So, Scorpio moon people tend to have a hard time opening up. They tend to have experiences in life where when they do open up, they've been met with backlash. They've been met with a bad response. So they've kind of learned to shut down and close themselves off because they don't feel safe doing that. They don't feel safe being vulnerable. And so they tend to be naturally paranoid, they tend to naturally second guess people's intentions. Alongside of all that, the relationship to their mother, I find, is not always good. People with Scorpio moons they kind of have this name in the astrology community of like the girls with mommy issues because the moon doesn't like being here. People with Scorpio moons usually have a mom that was secretive or was condescending or just like put a lot of responsibility on them or was didn't know how to respond to their needs. I'm hearing shit over there. The universe is telling me to shut up, so I'm gonna leave it there. Please do your own research. Moving on to Sagittarius moons. Sagittarius moons are the ones to laugh at inappropriate moments because they don't know how to deal with like vulnerable moments. If someone's crying, they'll probably try to crack a joke to cheer you up because they don't know what else to do. That's what Sagittarius moons are like to me. They're also the type to be very, hey
Yeah.
Google, define boisterous. Yeah, exact word I was looking for, actually. Sagittarius moons are just boisterous people. They might be a little brash, but hey. Relationship to their mother. I feel like Sagittarius moon people usually have a mom that really valued their freedom and their independence. People with Sagittarius moons usually have a mom that was raising them with the intention of raising them to be an individual. And so I love that. They might even have a mom that was in and out all the time, just going on trips all the time because Sagittarius is like the traveler and stuff. And they also might have a mom who also had a lot of life experience, similar to Gemini moon and their mom. They might have a lot of life experience, and she might even have a home full of stuff that she got on her like from her travels. I don't know. Moving on to Capricorn moons. We're coming on the tail end here of the zodiacal wheel. Now, if y'all were paying attention, pop quiz. If the moon loves being in Cancer, it doesn't like being in Capricorn, what is that called? What is that called if the moon doesn't like being somewhere? Detriment. Thank you. Detriment or fall. I would accept fall as well. But in this specific case, the moon is in detriment in Capricorn. It doesn't like being here. It's kind of like if your parents were divorced and you went to one parent's house that you just really don't like being at because it's cold and your room isn't decorated as well and you're just kind of there because you don't want to upset that parent by telling them that you don't want to be there. So you just suck it up and you go. That's what it's like being in Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of. People always say that Capricorn is associated with like work and career and just like these really ambitious people. And while, yes, that might be true, Capricorn is also ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is a planet of restriction and discipline and logic and investing time for a better outcome. And that kind of mindset doesn't pan out well in the emotional realm because logic and emotion they're not the same language. People with Capricorn moons tend to have been put in pretty rough spot early childhood. I feel like people with Capricorn moons were very quick to grow up. Anyone with Capricorn placements or anyone with Saturn placements, Capricorn and Aquarius, were quick to grow up. I find that people with Capricorn moons were raised to kind of be like, okay, I don't have time to process this. I have to go to work and I have to pay my bills. I will process this later, but I have to go to work right now. I have to put that aside for this. That's where the sort of like emotional investment sort of thing comes, or not really emotional investment, but that's where the sort of discipline and metaphorical investment kind of comes in, where it's like, yeah, that really sucks that my dog just died, but I have to really like spend 3 minutes with that and then go to work. I don't have time to cry over my dog dying because I have to go to work and I have to make money so I can pay the bill so he could die. Like, dying is expensive, living is expensive. So I feel like people with Capricorn moons grew their relationship with their mom. They unfortunately, their moms had to put, I feel like with a lot of Capricorn moons, their moms kind of put them in a place of responsibility very, very early on, and that's not cool. I feel like Capricorn moon people faced a lot of also like just pure mommy issues. Like their mom didn't really treat them the best, but they still have so much love for their mom and they feel guilty for even admitting that their mom might have like done something wrong when raising them. The guilt that they hold is scary, and I want to hug all of you Capricorn moons out there because you have gone through so much. Second to last is Aquarius moon. Sorry guys, this video is going to be so long. I don't know that many Aquarius moons. I know two personally. Aquarius moons, they're kind of an enigma. I feel like they're the type to always have a hot take. I feel like they're the type to kind of, I don't know, they're literally just an enigma. Maybe that's because I don't do a lot of research on Aquarius moons, but like, I feel like Aquarius moon people are very, again, I hate the stereotype, but like, it's genuinely what I've observed. They're so like nonchalant. And they are emotionally detached, I will say, but Aquarius moons are the type to like completely drag you and read you for filth and clock you emotionally and be like, well, you're feeling this way because this is this and this, but then completely have their whole own emotional life just kind of in shambles because they're the water bearer. Aquarius is going to look into the barrel and be like, yeah, that's water. I'm going to bring that to the people over there. I'm going to bring this water over there. But then when those people are like, do you want any water? They'll be like, Aquarius will be like, no, I really don't. Keep that shit away from me. I'm bringing it to you. I'm bringing it to you. I don't fucking want that. Thank you, though. I'm just the messenger. Hey. But, sorry, my foot's asleep again. I'm, like, wiggling around. My shit's asleep again. I have such bad circulation. I feel like, yeah, Aquarius moons are really not the first ones to sit there and be like, oh my god, like, I'm going to therapy, I'm doing this and this and this. They're probably just gonna be, like, about their emotions, pretty like neutral about their emotions and not think anything, whatever. I feel like the relationship to their emotions is, I mean, hello. I feel like Aquarius moon's relationships to their moms are similar to Sag moons. I feel like their moms kind of just like raised them to be independent, but I don't know if it was as intentional. I feel like they just had a lot of freedom growing up and their mom was like, yeah, I don't know where my child is, whatever. You know those like old like I don't know if they'd be considered retro right now, but those old commercials before like phones were really accessible where it was like, do you know where your kids are right now? I feel like those were targeted to moms that had Aquarius moon children. I feel like they talk to their mom, but I really don't feel like they're getting like deep with it with their mom, if that makes sense. Also pretty surface level conversations, just like Gemini moons. Moving on to last but not least, Pisces moon, Pisces moon, Pisces moon. Pisces moon. I have a Pisces moon. If you couldn't tell, that's why I'm really excited. Also, it's 1:47 a.m. Wow. Okay. Pisces moons are those psychic bitches that are being like, oh my god, I had the craziest dream last night and I think it means this and this and this. No one else got that kind of like stereotype, but oh, I should have said this earlier, but Cancer moons and Scorpio moons are really intuitive people. But much like the other water sisters, Cancer and Scorpio, Pisces is very, very, very in tune. Just like in tune collectively, and they are the empaths of the zodiac. It's mutable water. They know what you've been through. Probably because they've been through it themselves. I feel like people view Pisces moons as naive sometimes, but it's more in a way that's like when you almost look up to children because they are such innocent souls and you have there's so much that you can learn from children. They're like that. Or those old people that really don't give a fuck. Pisces moons are those children that like say really profound shit and you're like, maybe I could learn a thing or two from you because you haven't experienced a lot in life and you are maintaining your innocence, and I really appreciate that. Or those old people that are like, you've gone through so much in your life and you're maintaining that innocence, and I can really learn from that. Now, this wouldn't be accurate and non-biased if I didn't mention the victim mentality mindset. Yes, I'm guilty. Yes, I do have a tendency to immediately be like, well, what about me? But I'm just human and I'm in therapy, and I feel like a lot of you bitches can't relate. So, Pisces moons are the poets, the artists of the zodiac sign, okay? I don't want to hear it. I'm gassing them up. I'm tired of it. You bitches could learn so much from us. How dare you sit here and clown Pisces moon like SZA isn't your favorite artist? Right, right. The Pisces moon relationship to their mother is one of unfortunate. I feel like every Pisces moon I know has a mother that had a past of substance abuse, trigger warning substance abuse, because Pisces is known to be the dreamer, the escapist of the zodiac. So they might struggle or they might have a mom that struggled with substance abuse, or they had a mom that really cherished their artistry ability. I feel like because my mom has always been my biggest supporter in terms of like anything artistic that I do, and growing up, she'd always be like, "Wow, that's really good." She never she raised me to fully express myself through my art, and I really appreciate her for that. And I feel like every Pisces moon I know also had a mom that did that. So super grateful for that. Oh. Everyone take a deep breath in and out. Long video, huh? I actually really enjoy doing this. I love astrology so much. It's a genuine hyperfixation of mine. My neurodivergency really just like locked eyes with it, and I said, "This is a problem, and we're never ever letting go." So I hope you enjoyed this long ass video. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive on the moon in astrology and kind of some of her lore. I love you. Stay safe. Follow me on all my socials. Follow me on Spotify. Ryzen Jackson. Follow me on my socials. Ryzen Jackson. Subscribe. Like this video. Let me know if I hit the nail on the head with any of my observations. Let me know if I flopped entirely, or maybe don't. But if you do, do it in a way that's compassionate and makes me want to receive the criticism, please. Thank you. I'm going to bed. It's literally 1:53 in the morning. I have to go. Free Palestine. Oh, my neck. I wonder if you heard that.